Well, week 5 of the college football season is here. Alabama opened SEC play with a big win over one Mississippi school. Now they're going to go play the other Mississippi school as they head to Starkville for a trip against the Bulldogs here on Saturday. Mike McCoy, Simone Eli, we're going to break everything down, recap a little bit of Ole Miss, and then look forward as well for the Tide. Let's go head to head. All right, guys, welcome into Head to Head. I want to quickly thank our sponsor, Alabama Cattlemen's Association, Mike McCoy, joining us from Maximum Performance Institute in Bessemer. Did you just finish your workout? I mean, you were drinking water a second ago. I feel like you're well hydrated. You got your mind right.
Worked about 2 hours ago. Sat in a little sauna. We got a little makeshift sauna.
Wow,
so,
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
burning calories even while hanging out and chilling. Good stuff. Alabama will be at Mississippi State on Saturday. Before we talk about the Bulldogs, let's talk about the Rebels. Mike, I texted you on Saturday when Alabama extended their lead that clearly my prediction last week was incorrect. I'm thrilled about it, but I totally bought all the juju, all the national media talk about how Bama's, declining and all this stuff, and they came out and proved a point.
Well, you know what? Kudos to you and I.
Yeah.
I think they heard the call. I heard run the ball, play to your strengths, baby. You can't be Brady when you got Vince Young back there.
Mike, how big of a win do you feel like this was at home against Lane Kiffin, who, Lane Kiffin's going to do his Lane Kiffin thing. It didn't work out once again for him, so maybe he needs to change up his tactics when it comes to his, poking the bear and all that stuff. But Alabama gets it done. How big of a win was this for the Tide to bounce back after that close victory over South Florida?
I think it solidified pretty much what Coach Saban has been saying the entire time, that he believes in his team. Mm-hmm. Even if he didn't believe, he didn't show us.
To that.
I think it gave them the confidence. I think it gave them the boost that they needed. And I think it showed that Milroe is the best quarterback for the job. I think we stopped trying to complicate an old defense and offense and just actually ran the ball. The defense actually surprised me. So I think going into this week, I had me nervous as well, not going to lie. But I think going forward, you couldn't ask for a better showing going into SEC play.
I agree with that 100%. Jalen Milroe completed 17 passes for 225 yards, a touchdown. He did have that one interception. But, Mike, how impressed were you by that touchdown pass that he threw? I mean, that was unbelievably impressive. Right on the money, standing in the pocket, and he got drilled.
I think that showed that he is for the team. That showed that, hey, man, the morals, they're going to ride with me. They're going to die for me. So him, he wasn't the issue. The play calling and playing to his strengths was my biggest concerns. Mm-hmm. And I think with Jason McClellan running the way he ran, and I think, we're going to see towards the end of the season, I think we'll see a lot more play action. But right now, I think we just got them comfortable. Let's just close and let defense play shutout defense, and let's hold the ball. I think they did an outstanding job by taking the ball away from a high-powered offense. Yeah. Because I think if Lane would have got some momentum, it would have been ugly real fast.
Yeah, the defense, 5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. Terrion Arnold was impressive with the interception, but Malachi Moore, he is just one of the leaders on this defense. The guy balls out. I think he has that old school Alabama mentality that you want to have defensively. You've talked about how impressed you were. When you have a group on offense who is trying to piece some things together a little bit at the quarterback position, figure out what's going on a little bit in the backfield, when you have a stout defense like that, it's got to make you feel good knowing that they're going to at least keep you in it if you're trying to figure out what's going on the other side of the ball.
Right. And just kudos to that secondary. Whatever they've been doing, I know they're working with time to time. One of my former teammates, actually, Justin Woodall, I know he gets a lot of praise for those guys looking for individual work. They are working during the season, so that speaks volumes. So Malachi Moore doesn't surprise me one bit. He is the Mika Fitzpatrick of this generation for that team.
One big injury concern right now for Alabama is Mobile native Deontay Lawson. He has a pretty bad ankle sprain. Nick Saban said that it's rough. Good chance that he's maybe not going to be able to go on Saturday. How big of a deal is that? Mike, I know you played receiver, but when you don't have the quarterback of your defense there, you have to have a contingency plan. And Nick Saban said, he didn't shy away from this guy's a huge part of our defense.
Well, the good thing about playing at Alabama is your backup may be better than the starter
Sometimes, yeah, no doubt.
sometimes, and it happens. A lot of times when you have a guy in a veteran role, is because he knows necessarily what to do in a
Mm-hmm.
positive way. It doesn't mean he's a better athlete. So I think it will get a
Yeah,
light shined on who up next.
yeah,
Uh, I'm not worried going into Mississippi State, not taking,
I
shots at
feel that.
Mississippi State.
Yeah.
But I think if we were going to miss a week, I think this would be the week to do it.
Let's talk about the Bulldogs. Did you play? Surely you went to Mississippi State and played. You got the cowbells. You got the atmosphere. I've covered games there. It's a tough environment. And Nick Saban said this is a really good, stout defensive team, maybe the best defensive team we've played in a couple of weeks. But he says it could be a bigger challenge than what we faced recently.
Well, I'm from Mississippi.
Okay. Oh, there you go. There you go. See, I need to do my research. That's on me.
Born and raised,
Okay.
so a huge, I can't say I'm a fan, I didn't
Sure.
go obviously, but I think going into it, those cowbells, one thing I remember playing there, and when those cowbells and they get on one accord, you cannot give any team like this any hope. You have to stomp them out like you're trying to put out a fire.
Yeah.
And going into Mississippi State home, it's SEC. It's up for grabs, but everybody's going to give Alabama their best. But you come on, man. We talking about this Alabama, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's always that mindset if we don't lose the teams in Mississippi. I've heard people say it before when they played at Alabama. I definitely, I think it's the mindset a little bit for sure. We don't lose to the Mississippi teams. Will Rogers, I feel like we've been talking about this dude for like a decade. He's like the receiver from Clemson, Hunter Renfrow. He just was around forever.
Yeah, he's my age, I feel like.
Well, literally, Will Rogers has thrown for nearly 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. This is a guy who's been in big games. He knows what he's doing. How much are you concerned a little bit about the offensive attack that Mississippi State can present, regardless of their 2-game skid right now?
Well, I know they're looking for some momentum, but I would put their receivers against our secondary, and I feel like we'll come out on top. They have a decent stable of running backs. They're a pretty good team, but they're very physical. But like I said, a team like this who's coming off 2 losses and going into Alabama.
Yeah.
Let me just put this out there. When you got an A on your chest, they're not even playing the players. They have created a monster in their mind of how good Alabama is.
You're right.
So you punch them in the mouth, you go for the knockout, you take the life of them. You don't give teams like this opportunity.
Yep.
So if we come in and we run, hold the ball, I think we're looking at an easy victory.
I think Nick Saban, is looking for a better start than what we saw Alabama at home on Saturday. You got to have a hot start, especially when you're on the road in the SEC, because teams will wear you down. And when you have the crowd against you, that doesn't help. Prediction time. Let's talk about what this is going to look like when things hit 000s. I have 38-17 Alabama rolls. Well, here's the thing. I mean, listen, I think that Will Rogers is a talented quarterback. I mean, do I think it's going to be a close battle? Surely not. But I do think that late in the game, if Coach Saban is throwing out some guys who are maybe your second, third string dudes because you're up by 4 touchdowns, you throw some guys in that, are to get playing time on the road in the SEC. I could see the Bulldogs putting a couple points on the board. I mean, they've had talent offensively previously. So 38-17, that's what I got.
I think that Alabama is trying to prove a point that we are still Alabama. Mm-hmm. And I think with Colorado losing this past week, it's not going to be a lot more spotlight back on Bama. What is Bama going to do? Okay. We are forever going to be the dark horse.
Okay, so what's your prediction?
28-3.
Okay. I mean, okay. I don't know why you gave me that look like you were surprised by something. I mean, the 17, that was just okay. All right. Well, it's still an SEC. Like you said, these are still college athletes.
It's still Mississippi State, though.
Well, we will see, guys. It's going to be a night game in Stark Vegas, 8 p.m. kickoff. Alabama against Mississippi State. The Tide looking to roll to their second straight SEC victory.
It's an 8 o'clock game?
8 p.m. You might be asleep.
Tell them folks don't start drinking till after 1 now, because half of y'all be asleep now.
They're going to have, yes, no question. They're going to have a hard time staying up for that one. But, guys, we will see how things tune out. Mike has the Tide rolling. I have the Tide rolling. Hopefully I can get back on track on predictions this week. We'll see. I should have done better. I don't know what I was thinking, bro. Lane Kiffin can't get it done. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to Head to Head. I want to thank our sponsor, Alabama Cattlemen's Association. We will see you next week.
Peace.
Brought to you by Alabama Beef Farmers and Ranchers.